Hey, everybody, and welcome to the NintendoFuse Podcast. Here we are, episode 161, entitled The Final Direct Before Smash Ultimate. And I am not alone. My name is Steve, but I am joined here today by Barry. Hey, Barry.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And we also have another blast from the past joining us. Joined a couple, podcasts ago, but he's back again to talk all about Smash today. Hey, Hassan, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys? I'm glad to once again be out of the dungeon. It's great.
I'm just so generous right now because of everything that's been going on. I'm in such a good mood that I decided to let you out.
And we also have Greg. Greg's having a little family issues with his daughter not going to bed, so he may be joining us a little later as well. So if he jumps in, you know why. But he's just not with us at the beginning here. So before we jump into any discussion and everything tonight, we do want to remind you that our podcast is very interactive. So if you're watching us live on YouTube, make sure you jump in the chat room, throw your thoughts. We're going to be talking a lot about Smash Brothers tonight, so if you have thoughts about Smash Brothers, make sure you do throw those in the chat. If you're listening afterwards or watching afterwards, make sure you throw your comments down in the comment section, and we'd love to hear what you think about Smash Brothers and everything else that we talk about tonight. Also, be sure to always send in your questions. You can send them in at podcast@nintendofuse.com. You can connect with us on social media. We also have a Facebook group, so check that out and connect with us there. And we'd love to connect with you beyond just the podcast. And if you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube or your favorite podcast app, make sure you do that. And if you are on YouTube, make sure you hit that bell so you can be alerted every time we go live with another video, stream, podcast, anything that we do. You want to make sure you're alerted with all that. So before we jump into the news, let's talk about what we've been playing, what you've been up to, what you've been writing, what you've been reviewing, all that sort of thing. Let's go to you first, Barry.
Well, unfortunately, since our last podcast, I really wanted to play a lot of games. I didn't get a lot of time. Real life just kicking me down. But I did get some playtime this weekend. I sat down. I said, you know what? I've got to play through Starlink. And I did. I played through. I did it in 3 days. Had a lot of fun. Beat the game. I think it's fantastic. I think it's one of those things that I think a lot of people are not going to give this game a shot, and it's a lot better than it really deserves to be. It's the best Star Fox game we've had in a long time. On top of that, I have been doing stuff in Pokemon Go still because when I'm out, we just had the Gengar Community Day thing going on. And Dragalia lost. Dragalia lost. I've been playing a lot. I'm like level 71 now. Just doing all these events. It's such a good game. I don't know if you guys have tried it yet, but it's hands down Nintendo's best mobile title as far as I'm concerned.
That's cool. Yeah, I actually haven't tried it yet. One of these days I will. There's been a lot of Switch games recently that have kind of kept me busy, so I haven't actually got a chance to check it out yet. You also have some unboxing coming soon. You want to talk about that? Give it a little tease of that coming soon.
Yeah, just did a quick unboxing. If you watched, speaking of Starlink, I did a whole unboxing of all the toys. I was missing one toy. One toy was actually not released here in North America. I don't know if it's going to come Black Friday, but from the early ads that I've seen, they have not actually shown up in it. So I don't know if this is going to be European exclusive. It's part of the European digital download pack, but it's not part of the North American. But I did get it, and I have an unboxing of it, and it does work. If you import the figure, it does work with the North American version of the game. So the code's all in there.
Cool. Just want a quick shout out before we go to you, Hassan. Alex in the chat. Thanks for joining us. We also got Jared is talking about how he just bought it for the R-Wing. I get you, man. That's kind of why I wanted it as well. Also heard that the Piranha Plant codes are rolling out, so that's cool. Christian, thanks for joining us as well. Continue to throw your comments and everything in the chat. Hassan, what have you been playing? What's been going on in your life lately?
I've actually been playing a decent amount of video games, which has been pretty great. So kind of a variety of games. I was actually just playing Starlink a little while ago because I hadn't played too much in a while. I was like, let me get back into it. Pretty fun. I love just flying around, the seamlessness of jumping off into space and going back down to planets and just kind of exploring around. I feel like I might want to buy some more of the weapon packs just to be able to swap them out. I know you can do it digitally, but I just think it'd be cool to to actually have the physical version and kind of swap out some of those. I don't think I'm going to collect everything, but maybe just get a couple.
It's not that much.
Packs.
Like, there really isn't that much. It's not like Skylanders.
Yeah, there isn't, but it's like I have so much else that I'm already collecting. I'm like, I need to purposefully hold myself back and restrain myself on purchases because I have had another Joy-Con purchase recently too, which I'll talk about. But I've been playing some more Super Mario Party, and I'm trying to remember what I played. And thankfully, I have the parental controls enabled on my Switch, so I can look at the parental controls app. I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I've been playing lately. So that came in handy. And dabbled in a little bit of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon 2, and Fortnite. So kind of just a variety of games playing here and there, which has been pretty nice. And then, as I was kind of alluding to, I did get the Smash bundle, which I then sold the extra Switch and everything else, and just kept the Joy-Cons and the dock.
So you sold the Switch with no Joy-Cons?
Well, there's somebody I asked online who wanted one, and they're like, there's somebody else that already had 5 Joy-Cons. They must have just wanted a second Switch, maybe for their family or something. So they're like, yeah, we'll buy it. So it actually worked out. So yeah, it was a Switch with no Joy-Cons, and I had a regular dock because I had gotten an extra regular dock. So I just basically kept the Smash Brothers one and then just gave him my extra of the regular dock. So it kind of worked out.
That's nice. So what about the Diablo? I know it doesn't have different Joy-Cons, but you're going to get the Diablo system too.
No, I'm going for Joy-Cons only. I'm not going for, anything else beyond that. That would just be, that'd be too much.
That's great. I never even thought about that because I saw it when I was walking through Walmart today, and I was like, oh man, it'd be nice, but I was like, I don't really need another Switch. But now you gave me an idea. Maybe I should also sell it with an extra dock that I have. So what do you think of the Joy-Con so far? I mean, you like them?
I should have been better prepared and actually have them. I can run to the other room and grab them real quick. But basically, the design is kind of, there's just some lines on the Joy-Con. Yeah. I mean, it's nothing that special. The dock looks pretty cool, and I do like the Switch with the Smash Joy-Cons in the dock because then it kind of completes, it looks, more interesting. So I mean, I think it's one of the things that if you already have a Switch, don't bother with it unless you're a die-hard Smash fan and you really, really need that. But if you don't have a Switch, this is perfect. I definitely think it's the way to go.
That's cool. So when you sold it though, you gave I'm guessing he got the digital code for the game too. Then does that go with the system or
it's a little insert? Do I have the paper here? I don't know where the paper is, but yeah, it's just a download code, a scratch off download code. So I redeemed it on my own Switch basically. Yeah.
Nice.
So it worked out.
That's cool. Yeah, because the box kind of alludes that it's already there and downloaded, so I wasn't sure. So
yeah, I think they weren't super clear about it, but there was some product listing either on Amazon or somewhere that did say it was a download code. So I was like, okay, then I'll do it. Because if it was on the system itself, then that would have been a bit trickier for me to have to figure out. So the fact that it was an actual download code, I was like, all right, I'll go for it.
Cool. Continue to throw what games you've been playing in the chat. I have been playing several different games. I've been playing a lot of Rocket League, honestly. They have that kind of the Halloween themed thing going on right now. That ends actually tonight, November 5th. So I've been trying to get as many of those unlocked as I can, and trying to make my way into the ranked battles and all that stuff. But I've also been playing. I got Jeopardy. Wheel of Fortune. I got Ubisoft released kind of a America's Greatest Games sort of thing, and got a review copy of that. And I've been playing both those with my wife. And quick mini first impression sort of thing is both of them are not good.
Really?
Neither of them, they're not fully fledged like games. Like Wheel of Fortune, we tried that first, and they didn't get the actual host is it Pat Sajak, right?
Pat
They didn't
Sajak.
get him or Vanna White to be there. Like that's other like no name character hosts and letter flippers. And then it's weird. It's not, I don't know. It just feels awkward and kind of like just halfway done. And then Jeopardy is you don't even see any of the set at all for Jeopardy. It's just you pick so for Wheel of Fortune, you actually design a character, which is really limited. And if you draw in your second player, it's just player 2. You can't give them a name. They can design their character, but it's player 2. For Jeopardy, you can actually use another profile. So my wife has a profile on my Switch, and I can bring that in, which is cool. So we have, Steve and my wife's name, and we're all up there. But then like that's all you see. Like they just pull up the board and you see the categories and all the dollar amounts and the questions come on there. There's no set at all. It doesn't try to go in. There's no Alex Trebek or anything like that. It's some lady reading the questions to you, and then even like when you buzz in, we didn't know this, but it's multiple choice. So you get 3 answers when you buzz in, and for the most part, like. There were some questions I didn't know, but 90% of them I knew after I buzzed in and saw the possible choices. Like I narrowed it down and was able to get it correct. There was no type your own answer in sort of thing. So that was kind of weird to me. I don't know, but yeah, it's just I don't know. It just seems like they're halfway done. I've played previous versions of these games on consoles, and they've been a lot better than this. Even if I've had better experiences on like I think the 2DS or the DS and the 3DS versions of these games. So I don't know. But yeah, so I played that. Played
Well,
those.
now I won't be opening that game. Thank
There
you.
you go. I also got the Monopoly and Risk and that set. I haven't played those. I hope they're better. I hope Monopoly is better than the previous release.
I think it's honestly the same one.
I think it is
says
too.
In the package, it says Monopoly for Nintendo Switch.
The cool thing is, though, I didn't realize this, and I don't know if it's cool or just different. But when I popped in the cartridge for Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, it comes up as 2 different games on your home screen. So you don't like go into the game itself and then choose which game. It actually comes up as 2 different icons on there. So you pick either Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy from the home screen. So that was kind of interesting to me. I didn't expect that to happen. So it's kind of like just that cartridge has both games on it.
That's cool. See, Capcom really needs to take notice of this. I mean, come on, if Ubisoft can do it with Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, there's no reason Capcom can't do it with Resident Evil or Mega Man X.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So also been playing Grip and Chasm. I won't talk a whole lot about those because I've actually live streamed both of those, and so you can hear my thoughts. I play those. Grip, it's pretty good. I wasn't overly impressed so far, but I'm going to spend some more time with it. I like racing games. It's a combat racing game, so kind of arcadey and everything. So I'm looking forward to playing more about it, but there's not a whole lot there that's keeping me engaged. And then Chasm actually seems really interesting. I played almost a couple hours of it so far. I don't know how much more game there is there, but it's an interesting kind of a Metroidvania sort of thing, but kind of a little bit lighter on the light side, but I'm enjoying it so far. Also wanted to mention I've gotten a couple controllers recently, and I'll share more thoughts on them. But the Power A controllers, so I have both the wired one that I got like several months ago and finally just opened it. But I also have the wireless one, the enhanced wireless one that also has the buttons in the back. Tried them out in both Rocket League and Fortnite. Liked it better in Fortnite, but both controllers are just. I don't. The wired one feels mostly better in my hands. I like its light and everything, but the removable thumbsticks are awkward, and they come in different heights, and you can pop them off, but like I want two short ones like this that are slightly smaller. I can't control the width of them, but I want two short ones, but I got one tall one and one short one, and like that's weird. And so I swapped them out for the I forget which one's convex and concave, but I switched out for the other one. It's fine, but it feels weird because they're different, and I don't know. So I was happy when I saw these because I like these sticks are actually closer to what the actual Pro controller are, but they're not exactly the same. I like the sticks better, but the controller just feels a little too bulky, and the buttons there are almost like sometimes too convenient to hit. So I don't know. I'm not sold on either of them, and honestly, after I don't know a couple hours of trying them on both Fortnite and Rocket League, I put them to the side and grabbed my Pro controller because the Pro controller is really, really good. So that's my quick first impressions of those. And also, I unboxed this headset that I'm wearing right now, the Cloud Mix headset from HyperX, and this is my first time trying it live. You guys can tell me, do I sound well? How's the microphone? Because you guys sound good, but how's the microphone?
Sound like a girl. I don't know.
I sound like a girl?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
wow.
It's like transforming your voice. It's really weird.
That is odd. I'm surprised it took this long for you to tell me that.
It's just been funny, you know.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to using it a little more in games and stuff like that, and I'll eventually give a review on that as well. So that was a lot, but I feel like I've been doing a lot more recently, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like a lot going on, a lot more games going on, and stuff like that. So it's been fun. And here's Greg. Greg, thanks for joining us, man.
Hi everyone, how's it going?
So we're just wrapping up what we've been playing, what we're doing, everything. So share what you've been doing.
Well, I was been playing some of Barry's new favorite game of the year, Paw Patrol, on a roll.
Right.
Playing that with my daughter. We got through the first like 3 or 4 missions, so been enjoying that so far. It's been fun to kind of share my passion with the Nintendo Switch with her. And my main complaint is that you can't use the Joy-Con sideways, so it expects you to use both of them, either like attached to the system or like a Pro controller. I would think a kid's game would be perfect to turn on its side. I haven't seen an instance where you needed to have 2 separate Joy-Cons for the actions they're requiring you to do, but I don't know, maybe there's something in the later levels that gets more complex, but it's very basic and very kid-friendly, and she's been having a blast with it.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, for all those that watched last time's podcast when we were talking about Paw Patrol, I said, oh, good, it's not physical. And it turns out it is physical in America. It is Walmart exclusive. So I had no choice but to hunt down this game and buy it.
And Barry logged 150 hours into it, and he's still going.
Oh, yeah, totally. Super addicting.
Anything else, Greg? You just been playing Paw Patrol?
That was actually surprisingly it. I've meant to boot up like Mega Man and Moonlighter. I got codes and stuff for those, and just didn't really have a whole lot of time doing a lot of Halloween festivities, trick-or-treating. My town had like some trick-or-treating events at the businesses on 2 different days, so it's a lot of family time, except for not really too much for Switch. So
nice. Well, I never
Switch is family.
I never thought that. Well, this time it is Paw Patrol. Unless you've been sneaking in some solo time with it as well. I don't know, but but I never I never imagined that that we'd be saying that you'd be saying that Paw Patrol is the game that's dominated your last couple weeks. But
watch it become the game of the year for Greg.
Oh my God, that'd be great.
If it was like a couple years ago, it might have been a contender. So like the last
if
year
it was one
Wii
of
U.
those slow years, right, then there might not have been any other options.
Yeah. We've got a lot of you guys talking about what you've been playing in the chat. Alex has been playing Starlink, Scribblenauts Mega Pack, Fortnite, Mario Kart, Destiny 2. Man, you've been playing a lot. Jared's also talked a lot about his Starlink stuff, which sounds like very similar to a lot of people who kind of got the game for Star Fox, but kind of realized it's been a really good purchase. Also been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Starlink, Soul Calibur 6, Luigi's Mansion, and a little Mario Party when friends are over. Mario Party's been cool too. It's been fun. I need to have some more friends over so I can get some more experience with it. So, Video Games Monthly. Hey, thanks for joining again. That'd be cool. So glad you're here. All right, let's jump into some news. And before we jump into the big news thing that's going to take the majority of our podcast tonight with Smash Brothers Direct, we do want to just quickly mention that Mario, I'm actually, do you guys know how to pronounce his name? Segale or Segale?
I think I've heard it's Segale from other people that have said it, but
okay, Segale.
I don't know. I don't know if that's absolutely correct, but that's how I've heard other people say it.
Okay, well, we'll go with that for tonight. But Mario Segale has passed at age 84. If you guys are unfamiliar with who he is, he's actually kind of like the namesake of Super Mario. So as kind of the story goes, I'm going to really butcher this name, so I'm just going to not say that. I'm just going to say the first president of Nintendo of America rented this building in Washington from Mr. Segale, and that became the headquarters for the first Nintendo of America. And Mario at the time was just known as Jumpman, and basically he named him after apparently named Mario after the first landlord from Nintendo of America, and he has recently passed. He did so on October 27th, 2018, and we just want to kind of just take a moment to honor him and all that he probably had no idea when he was named after him what kind of connections and the history that we've seen of Super Mario over the years. And it's been cool, and he kind of tried to keep that to a minimum. Didn't really talk about it a whole lot. He has his whole career, businessman, and all this great stuff that he did over the years. But it was kind of cool to know that he was the one that Mario was named after. So, you guys have any thoughts about him, or any kind of just things that come to mind as we just take a moment to honor him?
Not really. I mean, mostly just extending condolences to his family. I mean, it's obviously very hard to hear when someone passes away, even though, I mean, no like major ties to us. Like, we don't really know him personally or anything like that. But it's obviously sad that this has happened, and obviously Mario will continue to live on, and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, I mean, he really didn't do a lot. Like, he didn't realize the impact. I'm sure he wasn't involved with the development. It was like one of those right place at the right time things. But that being said, my heart goes out to his family, and I wish them nothing but the best. I know how much death really, really sucks, and I always want to say is thank you for giving Nintendo a chance to establish NOA, and without that, would we even be here talking right now? So thank you for that, and hopefully you're resting in peace. My condolences.
Yeah, absolutely. Just echoing what everyone else said, and my thoughts and prayers go to his family as well. But it's part of the legacy, So we'll continue to remember him and champion that going forward.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, again, thoughts and prayers go out to the family because they mourn and kind of go through this hard time in life. But again, yeah, thanks for all he did and just giving Nintendo their first building and inspiring Mario. And man, he probably had no idea what was coming when he allowed them to sign that first lease and see what all turned into all this over the years.
I mean, I wonder if anyone ever walked up to him and said, are you aware that they named a character that punches a dinosaur in the back of the head after you? Like, just curious.
I know. Man, So let's move on to the big topic of the evening. It is Super Smash Brothers. There was a Smash Brothers Direct, and man, there was a lot there. People have some mixed feelings about this. Even in our midst right now, there are some mixed feelings about this Direct. So let's say before we jump into the details, let's just go around the horn and share your first just like thoughts about it. I know we've been chatting a little bit about it, apart away from the podcast, but I would love to kind of hear what you guys are thinking so far. So Barry, let's go to you first because I know you've been thinking about it a lot.
I'm gonna say this, and this is gonna sound really weird, but because I'm usually the optimistic one of the group, out of all the directs in recent memory, this was the first one that I honestly, despite everything, had some feeling of disappointment afterwards. I honest to God was a little bit buzzkilled and disappointed at the end.
All right, Huston, what do you think?
I feel like I was almost the opposite, where I came away very excited and just ready for more. And by the way, real quick, I do have this is the download code that came with the Switch, and this is the actual, to anybody watching the video, this is the Smash Bros. Switch. So I'm playing like all my games now with these Joy-Cons because I'm just that hyped. I'm ready. Yeah, this little line, this is getting me hyped now. I see it, I'm like, Smash, let's go, I'm ready.
That right Joy-Con is wow.
A lot of work went into the design of that right Joy-Con.
Right. But yeah, the Direct, I mean, I enjoyed it. I thought there's lots of stuff, and looking forward to trying it all.
Cool. Greg, what do you think?
Well, I did first want to welcome Barry to the club of when a Nintendo Direct disappoints you, but I do not share his thoughts on this particular one, though. I actually came back pretty impressed and very excited for the game, so we'll be having more into that on the details.
Cool.
It would be boring if we were all like, this is the greatest thing in the world.
Nice.
I'm not going to say it was my absolute favorite one out of all the ones that they've aired, but I definitely didn't think it was disappointing in any way.
Yeah.
Me, at least.
Yeah, I think I kind of fall somewhere in the middle. I did enjoy it, but I think I don't know. I think the biggest thing for me is I think they didn't share everything. At least I'm hoping they didn't share everything, which I think left some people frustrated or kind of questioning the game itself. But I think for me, I think the overall Direct was good. It bugged me a little bit that they held off on the adventure mode stuff until the very, very end and didn't share a whole lot. But then after I was thinking about it, I was like, you know what? Was that just my hype getting in the way? Like, actually, like looking back, I'm like, okay, I understand. I mean, it's a similar thing to like, I don't know, all the Avengers and Marvel's movies and everything coming out. I'm like, I really don't want them to share everything. I want them to leave some experience there for me to find out on my own. I don't want to know everything about the game. And so when I started processing it that way, I actually enjoyed the Direct a lot more than I think a lot of other people. But yeah, so. Anyhow, let's jump into the details. I'm just going to go straight through the press release, and so I think for the most part this was in order from the Direct itself, but some things might be just a little bit out of order, and we'll just kind of take a few things at a time and then kind of discuss them a little bit. First off, we did see our final two fighters that are in the initial release of the game. So that kind of alludes to a little bit of their stuff that we'll talk about later. But the final two fighters are Ken from Street Fighter and Incineroar from the Pokemon Sun and Moon series. for the most part, Ken is an Echo Fighter from of Ryu, and so there's a lot of similarities, but there are a little bit of differences as well, with his speed and his Hadouken and stuff like that. And Cineroar is a new character, and kind of brings all the different moves and everything from Pokemon Sun and Moon and some different stuff there. What do you guys think of these two new characters? Kind of general thoughts about them. Are they good choices? Are you excited about them? All that sort of stuff. Let's go in a little different order. Let's go to Greg first.
I was kind of almost expecting Ken, like when they announced like the Echo Fighter kind of things, because he's been a pretty like renowned Echo Fighter, and they even dove into that when they mentioned Luigi as the original Echo Fighter. And Cineroar, I've never been a big one into the Pokemon series, so I didn't really have any feelings towards like him being added in. Like I'm not one that's gonna be like, oh, there's too many Pokemon characters. Should have been somebody else. No, I don't really argue against their choices. He seems like a good, interesting fit with just having a bunch of different throwing type moves and the celebratory wrestling poses. I mean, if I were to say if any part of this direct was disappointing, would be the final characters, but that's because they didn't fit my personal preferences. But again, I'm not usually one to complain. I mean, there was already 74 characters, so it's not like he's like one of like 6 or 12 or something. That's a very small amount. So, yeah, that's overall thoughts on those.
Cool. I want a quick shout out to both Matt and Neil. Matt's a longtime listener and everything, but Neil I think this is the first time he's joining in. So, hey to you guys in the chat. Be sure to throw your comments about all this stuff in the chat as well, and we will address it when we can. But there's some great conversation. In fact, sometimes it's hard to keep up with what's going on in the chat so much. So it's been cool conversation over there.
Just came in too.
Oh yeah, look at that, Jakester. Nice. Welcome, guys. So Hassan, what do you think of Ken and Incineroar?
So I guess first of all, so I fully expected these two to be the characters they would announce in the final ones. In fact, I think was it the last podcast or something, I came in the chat or something too, and I was like, I think it's Ken and Incineroar, and that's it. Like I was pretty much ready for those two. So I kind of came into it expecting that. And I mean, the two characters themselves, I'm not really like super crazy about. Like, I'm not a big Street Fighter fan. Incineroar is not really a Pokemon that interests me more. Like Decidueye or somebody would have been really cool. But so as like personally, I'm not super excited about the choices. But I expected them. I fully, thought they would be in the game, and I think they, at least, especially Incineroar being a new character, seem pretty interesting to play as. So I'll definitely try them all. And I did like the whole character reveal trailer. Like those are always fun. Especially the little scene at the very end with like Villager with the little boxing gloves going. I was like, yeah, that was funny. That was great. So I always love those, the reveal trailers. Those always make it worth watching.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Jared said in the chat that Digital Frontier does an amazing job with the Smash Brothers trailers, and yeah, that was that. While I'll share my thoughts in just a second, but I like the reveal more than the characters themselves. I'll say that for sure. Barry, what do you think?
Well, Ken was very safe. I would have been surprised if Ken wasn't there. I'm a longtime Street Fighter fan, so I'm fine with Echo characters, more the merrier. So it was great to see some representation. It's kind of weird though that I guess his home stage is going to be Ryu's stage, which is weird because Ken has his own stage, and obviously they played his theme, so at least that's in it. Incineroar, I didn't actually play like a lot of Sun and Moon, and I didn't play any Ultra Sun and Moon, but I would have picked Litten as my starter. That's what I did at the start, but I never got her all the way to Incineroar. As for Decidueye, they were added to Pokken Tournament, so I think this was like the compromise. You go to Pokken Tournament, you go to Smash. When I watched the gameplay of Incineroar, I actually really like it. Like, even though I'm not like, oh my god, Incineroar, I'm super excited for that character. I'm excited for the gameplay because it's a different type of character. And obviously the intro cinematic for the two was fantastic as always. Yeah, I mean, it's almost obligatory at this point for a new Pokemon representation in each new Smash. So it's kind of, by the books almost, if you will.
Yeah. I'm just sorry. I'm just chatting. The chat room's cracking me up. Neil, wow. We'll just say Chun-Li. That's all I know. All right. So my thoughts. Yeah, like I feel like Ken was a shoe-in as an Echo fighter. I feel like, I mean, making making him faster is almost makes him in my mind better than Ryu, and which is unfortunate because I prefer Ryu over Ken in Street Fighter. But I may end up playing more as Ken because he's faster. And Cinnamoroar, similar to you, Barry, I'm like not excited about him. It was never, I didn't play through Sun and Moon, so I wasn't drawn into the character like a lot of people are. Wasn't a favorite of mine or anything like that. But watching his play, watching his moves and all that stuff actually made me start thinking, okay, I want to try this guy out and see what he's got. Seems like they need to balance him pretty good because he seems like he could be a little OP from some of his moves. I think they tried to balance him out with the celebratory poses and everything, but you can easily cancel out of them. So I don't know. I'm definitely he's gonna be one of the first characters I try, I think, to see what he's like.
It's also good to see another heavy character like him, King K. Rool, Ridley. Like, it's nice to get some more balance on the character roster because there aren't that many heavy characters in the roster.
Yeah, definitely.
And Steve, he may be one of the first characters you want to try, except if you have to unlock them in order, he's going to have to be the last one you try.
Good point. Good point. So, yeah. Well, but once I get them all unlocked, I'm going to be excited to play them. So that's a good point. I forgot that's how we're going to do it this time. So I'm just glad Yoshi's there from the beginning. So that's my main. So okay,
we'll find out who's better.
All right. So then we moved into we're going to talk about spirit mode and. In the world of Smash Brothers Ultimate, we normally, or Smash Brothers as a whole, we normally have these the statues, right? The character statues that kind of play in this idea that they come like they're there, but then they come into the game world and they're fighters in the real world and in the game and the stream world and everything. And there's always been these statues and they keep expanding them and everything. And this time they decided to do this thing called spirits. And so each character basically had their spirit, and they've lost their form and become spirits, and they serve as power-ups this time around. So they range from different characters like Chibi Robo and Dr. Wily to Tails, and all these different characters have these spirits, and you can equip the spirits as primary or support spirits to kind of add additional abilities and things to your character. And so as you collect this different spirits, you can add them to your main character and continue to progress. Kind of like an RPG sort of elements to it. So in my mind, I feel like it kind of took the challenge modes and added some RPG elements and added in the statues and stuff, and just like, hey, you know what, we're going to put this together and give it more of a point. Instead of just collecting them and beating each challenge, we're going to actually make a journey out of this and make you have some reason why you're playing through each of these things. So Hassan, let's go to you first. And what's your thoughts on the spirit mode and the spirit battles?
So this is the one interesting part of the direct that was, I guess it was interesting. So my initial thought was like, wait, no trophies? Because that's been such a staple of the franchise. I get it though, because the reason behind it being just the development time that it takes to create all those models, and this game is packed with stuff. Like, I mean, it's just amazing how many characters and stuff they're able to fit in it. So I get it. The spirits do look a little odd with the competing art schemes of it. Just looks, a little weird, like a hodgepodge of different things, but the concept behind it, I think, is interesting. How it's kind of a more involved, almost like an RPG, as you were saying, more involved setup. I don't know how much I'm going to get into it because I feel like it's really complicated, like really, really complicated. Like I thought I was following along, and then Sakurai would add another element to it, and then another element, and then another thing, and then I was just lost. I was like, this is way too much customization. I still don't fully comprehend it. So good or bad, if I end up enjoying that, it's going to be fantastic because I feel like you can really get lost in it. It's like a whole new game within this game. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to trying it, I guess. But it's really hard to say how much I'm going to enjoy it because it's very in depth.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like I actually as I was explaining it just a second ago, I was like, did I get everything? I don't even think I got everything because I think there's other elements that you can level up and all these different things. There's a lot to it for sure. Barry, what's your thoughts about spirits?
Spirits is one of those things that I think is going to be better in practice versus discussion. And I understand Sakurai loves to go into detail, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there is such a thing as too much detail. Like, there's a lot that spirits can do, and there's a lot to this. But I feel the way he kind of droned on and on with it, you kind of lost base. It was like, all right, bored now. Let's move on. Like, I'll understand it as I'm doing it, as I'm messing around with it, as I'm playing with it and discovering it. I'll learn how it works. I think that obviously using JPEGs is a lot cheaper than trophies, and I understand that. They can get a lot more characters that way. I miss trophies. It feels like we're losing part of what made Smash Brothers Smash Brothers. I mean, we had stickers. This is very reminiscent of stickers. But stickers went away after Brawl. They were just a one and done thing. I'm really hoping that if you are a spirit, you are not disqualified from being a fighter, because that would break a whole lot of hearts.
Yeah.
I thought I heard somebody say, I didn't see it myself, that there was a K. Rool spirit.
Well,
so I don't know if that's true.
There's a Wii Fit Trainer tree pose is a spirit, like the actual tree pose.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but I know like my wife will be furious if Dixie Kong can't be a character because she was clearly shown there.
Yeah. It's I agree with you, Barry. I think that's one of those things they should have spent a little less time explaining because it almost like it seemed exciting, and then maybe the more he talked, I was like, I don't really know if I like this anymore. So it's definitely interesting. Greg, what do you think about the spirit mode and all that sort of thing?
This was definitely one of the parts I was very intrigued by. I know it seemed like all kind of confusing and everything overall, but to me it sounded like kind of like a modified event mode, and that's always been one of my favorite classics since like Melee. It was like, oh, you can fight Gutsman, but he's like just a giant Mega Man that just kind of throws stuff around. So to me, that sounds like a very intriguing, just to be able to play these different type of scenarios against characters that are not in the game. Obviously, we need more information on how they level up each of the spirits and all of that kind of stuff, and unlocking the various ones. But I don't know. I've always kind of really enjoyed the event mode, and I didn't really care for the trophies because I could never get them all anyway. So having to play classic mode 74 times sounded like a huge chore. Playing All-Star mode 74 times again will be a huge chore.
Yeah.
Playing adventure mode 74 times. I mean, you get where I'm going with this, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I hope the spirits have a little informational blurb on them, though. Like the trophies, some of the cool things was reading about the history of the characters. So hopefully the spirits have something like that too.
I agree. Did you guys get a read on like how you progress through the spirits mode? Is like, I'm assuming the reason you want to level up your character and collect more spirits that you can make your main character better, but what's the end result? Like, what's the final goal? Is it just to make it all the way through? You need to power them up so you can beat the next one?
Beat the adventure mode.
And that's
I
think
you
take them into adventure mode.
So it's all related because I think I saw they did the Nintendo Live tournament in Japan, and there was a little bit more footage of the menus. So the World of Light adventure mode is within the spirits mode. So it's using that. Now there's also separate just challenges and things where you can go into it and like face off against certain spirits to like get them in your collection and that sort of thing. But it's all related.
Okay. that makes a lot more sense, and it actually like gets me more excited about it, because in the beginning I thought it was two different modes. Like you had your spirits modes and your adventure mode. Connected makes a lot more sense. So that's good. I'm glad I asked. Because I didn't actually pick that up from their explanation. So I don't know if they made it clear. Maybe I just missed it, but we'll I don't know. We'll see. But that's a lot better. Okay, so earlier we talked about the fact that the last two included from the very beginning fighters were Ken and Incineroar, but they did confirm that they're going to be working on at least 5 more DLC fighters. Those fighters are going to be coming out in packs of $5.99 each, and at least in America, the price would be that. And then you can also get all 5 of them in a fighter pass for $24.99. And each of those packs includes the character, the stage, and the music tracks. So we have no idea who those 5 are going to be at all. But the people that do choose to get the fighter pass will also receive an in-game outfit based on Rex from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, one of Barry's favorite games. And that's going to be starting in December 7th. So pretty much the day after it comes out. And yeah, so they'll also, if you do purchase the fighter pass, you get 425 bonus gold points, or double the usual amount. So a lot of incentive there to get the fighter pass. What do you guys think? Like, who could this be? Like, they say they haven't even began working on them, but some people are like, wait, maybe they have, or maybe they certainly have plans. Like they've been thinking about DLC characters for a long time. Barry, you already said your wife hopes Dixie's one of them. We have all these different ideas about who could be in there. Hassan, what's your thoughts about the DLC?
So it's interesting that we know a couple that it's not, because they're assist trophies, like Isaac, Springman, certain characters like that, Shadow.
Right.
But as far as who it could be, and we know it's not Echo characters or Echo fighters, so totally brand new characters. It's very interesting, because I think the last Smash with DLC, there was a lot of focus on like there's a bunch of like third-party characters or characters that weren't as well known necessarily. Like it was not your standard crop of characters that you would imagine. So I wonder if they're going to kind of branch out here as well. Now there is a rumor from there's this one guy who has gotten a bunch of stuff right in terms of I think Simon, Incineroar, Ken, Ridley, I think. So there's a bunch of characters that he has been saying, and that's kind of why, because of his rumors, I was leaning towards Ken and Incineroar being the final 2. So he also said that with this DLC now, there's going to be some sort of Square Enix character. And potentially that will be the first out of the 5 DLC. He also said that in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a stage, a character, or assist trophy sticker, in some way, shape, or form, not sticker, sorry, spirit, Minecraft will be represented. So potentially, what if they did like Steve from Minecraft or something, as a character, which I could totally see them doing, because Microsoft and Nintendo have been very buddy, and I think Minecraft being big on the Switch and stuff as well would be perfect. So yeah, I mean, those present some interesting opportunities, I think. I don't know who else, because like, I don't know. There's no other characters that I can immediately think of that I would really want to be on it. Aside from the one other character I think would be great, which I don't think is going to happen, is Wonder Red from the Wonderful 101, unless they tie it into a future announcement of the Wonderful 102, and then throw in Wonder Red or something in that. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting, and it's an interesting thing to note. I think the third party stuff as well, that we could we could see a continued expansion. Jakester says it could be interesting to kind of pull an Octopath Traveler thing in there. Which one do you choose? Who knows? Maybe that's just 8 different options for the characters. You just switch back and forth between the 8. That's their different the character options or whatever. So we'll see. Greg, what do you think of the DLC? Are you hoping for anyone in particular for DLC?
Well, it's definitely a day one purchase for me. That's for sure. I got like just about all the characters for Wii U and 3DS. So, I definitely think since Sakurai really likes Fire Emblem, I think it could be expected there'll be at least one character added from there, or most likely one from the upcoming Three Houses game, like Eldegard, who uses like a lance. That's not another sword user that everybody complains about. That there's too many of. So that could definitely bring some variety into the like weapons and stuff that's available for the game. So that was at least one that jumped immediately to my mind without going into like Dixie or someone else that's probably much more deserving that has been in multiple games. I mean, I've wanted Shovel Knight, but he's already assist trophy. It seems like if you've only had like one game, you get become assist trophy. In 2 games, that's where you get the character status. So that's what I've noticed.
That's actually maybe pretty accurate. So
That's
yeah.
why the Inklings got their second game, so like, up they're in. But Springman, no, he's only one game. Throw him in as a costume or assist trophy or whatever.
Yeah.
Ribbon Girl too.
Yeah, I think that was my big surprise. I expected them to keep pushing ARMS, and I was surprised to see that Springman wasn't a character that he was as this trophy. So, and most likely not. I'm assuming unless they update the game, they're probably not going to be a DLC character. So,
yeah, I'm still absolutely wish that Bomberman could have been one, but that bridge has already been blown up. So,
all right, Barry, what are you thinking about DLC?
Well, I can honestly say I finally understand those people who want Shadow or Isaac or Waluigi, and when they see them as the assist trophy, like the pain they feel.
Yeah,
because that costume was the biggest insult Sakurai could have given me. Like my whole world just like shattered. Like especially considering he stated, "We know you want to play as Rex. We understand you want Rex as a character. I hope this helps." No, it does not help. Rex has to be one of those 5. He acknowledged we want him. There's no reason not to. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 sold over 1.5 million. Torna sold a lot. There's absolutely no reason not to get Rex, Pyra / Mithra in that roster. As for the other 4, keep in mind these characters have to be big. They can't do Goomba to sell. These have to be worthy of the purchase. So I definitely think third party is going to be a key. If Square Enix is to believe, I would still love Geno. They kind of did it last time in Smash 4. We understand you want Geno, so here's a Mii costume. Hope that helps. No, that didn't help. You did that with King K. Rool, and you eventually delivered, so maybe Geno will come. If they don't do Geno, I know some people want Sora. I absolutely do not want Sora. I like Kingdom Hearts, but I do not think Sora is deserving to be in Smash in that sense.
Give us Mickey instead.
Yeah, Mickey would be fun. Mickey actually would be fun. But no, so I've heard some people say like a Dragon Quest character, which I would be okay with. I would be okay with another Final Fantasy character, preferably like Terra or Locke or Cecil or Kane or something like that, and possibly a Bravely character. I'd love to see Ignis in there or Tiz in there or even Magnolia in there, like just to get or one character in there. Rigabelle would be really cool too. If you play the game, you'd know why. To give some representation to that, since Bravely is pretty much a Nintendo type franchise. For other third party, I mean, I know people would love Banjo. I wouldn't hate Banjo. Minecraft doesn't do anything for me, but I understand there's a big appeal to that. I would love to see some kind of collaboration with Microsoft, though. I'd love to see these, big companies working together. Outside of that, I don't know. What I do hope is that we're going to get more than these 5. Now, what I mean by that is not only we get a season 2, so to speak, like other fighting games where there's more, another fighter pass, but also that they throw in Echo Fighters sprinkled in for free, just to keep hype up, kind of like they've been doing with other games where they've, Mario Tennis has free DLC and ARMS and Splatoon 2, and they're doing all this free DLC. And I think Echo Fighters don't take a lot, and I think that will be like, hey, here's the new paid character, and we're also throwing in this Echo Fighter as well to get that hype back up. And I would like to see them do like Shadow. And even though he's an assist trophy, just make Silver do Chaos Control instead of Shadow. I don't think that's really that hard to do. Other obvious, ones are like Dark Link would be really easy to do. X or Proto Man or Base as an echo to Mega Man would be really easy to do. Even Zack would be really easy to do for Cloud. So I'd like to see them play around with that more. I'd also like to see the 13 missing assist trophies come back. There were 16 that were cut out, 3 of which became playable fighters. So I'd like to see the 13 that were not playable characters come back into the game, simply because it's more representation. It's easy content. So I'd like to see them come as DLC as well. Like, here's a new paid character, here's a free Echo character, and here's an assist trophy or 2 to go along with it as well. Hype back into the game.
Yeah, I know. Like, that was one of the things you were hoping for, Barry, is that every character has an Echo Fighter.
That'd be awesome.
But haven't seen it yet. I guess there's always a chance, but we'll see. And a lot of them, like you said, it's a no-brainer for a lot of them. I just don't know. I'm wondering if, in terms of resources, where they want to put that effort and everything, because I know it's easier to create an Echo character, but at the same time, it still demands some resources. It'd be cool if they have enough and they can devote it to that, but we'll see. I actually have no clue who these 5 are going to be, but I will purchase it ahead of time. I'll get the fighter pass and enjoy Rex's as a me costume. But look forward to seeing what happens, because it's definitely a lot better deal to buy them. If you're going to plan on buying 4 of them, you might as well just buy the fighter pass, because I think it's cheaper that way if I do quick math in my head. So.
Yeah.
So
they did say it was not like the last fighter even wasn't be possibly ready until like February 2020. So
right,
yeah,
those are only the 5 from the past. So
yeah, I guess, I mean, who knows how long this game will live on, and if they'll continue to release more and more DLC after that or not. So
we just get a new character reveal with every Nintendo Direct going forward, basically.
Could, especially with Echo Fighters.
Really good. Yep. Speaking of other characters, there was an announcement that most of you know about already. I'm sure that most of the people like watching this or listening to it after the fact this is not going to be surprising to you, but it was definitely surprising when it happened, because I don't think anybody saw this coming. I mean, I've been trying to stay away from the rumors this time around. But I don't think anybody had thought
there were no
nothing.
rumors for this, because I've been paying attention to the rumors. There was nothing. There were a couple people that like claimed they knew but didn't say anything. But I mean, there was nothing. There was no rumors out there.
So that's Piranha Plant is coming to Smash as a playable character, and will be a free DLC. That's apparently going to be, I think, where to say it's coming. We actually have a date when it's
before February, because February the amiibo comes out, so it's got to be before February.
So sometime in February, but you need to get the game in order to get it for free. You need to get the game, either digital download or buy the physical copy and get it registered to your Nintendo Switch with My Nintendo and everything by the end of January 2019 in order to get him for free. Barry, what's your thoughts on Piranha Plant? Is it going to be your new main?
My thoughts are all over the place. At very first thoughts were the total WTF, and not because it came out of left field, but because it takes the so to speak, status quo and literally just throws it out the window. Like there had to be something special about being a Smash character, and every Smash character was a named character. This is just generic Mario enemy. You might as well have Octoroks and Metroids and Goombas running
And
around.
Goombas, you mentioned earlier, Goomba wasn't going to be a DLC, but who knows now?
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, and I understand, like, you know, PD Piranha. He summons PD Piranha. He doesn't transform into him for the special or the Smash. And PD Piranha, I would have been fine with because PD Piranha is a named character.
Makes sense.
However, after I thought about it more and I watched the play style, and I said, you know what, he's different. He's very different. And you know what? Maybe Sakurai just wanted to make him. And you know what? If Sakurai wanted to make him either to troll the internet or just because he really likes piranha plants, then more power to him. I mean, Sakurai, we don't deserve Sakurai. He's like a god. So if that's what he wanted to do, more power. And you know what? If he's tasting the internet tears right now and just lapping them up and enjoying them, more power to him. I absolutely. Yeah. And you know what? I can see like Smash tournaments, people using piranha plants to troll people and winning. Like there was one tournament where it was ice climbers were towards the end, and people were like, "Oh my god, ice climbers like in the top 4! Like what the heck's going on?" So I can see this happening.
Yeah, for sure. Jared's talking about he welcomes the piranha plant, but it feels like there's a lot more deserving characters that do deserve a spot in there. Yeah, most of us are like Jakester said his face palm still is hurting from that. So, Greg, what do you think about the piranha plant? Is that the one you've been waiting for all your life? Like you just can't wait to like play as piranha plant?
Actually, sort of. I mean, he does have like the way that like he's implemented is very cool. Like how he has like all the like different moves from like Mario 3 and New Super Mario Brothers U, and like all his different like tie-ins is like how he even like how he moves like with the pedals below like the pot or the pipe or whatever. So this was definitely like the WTF character that Barry was talking about, but this also kind of reminds me like, oh, this is like when we got Game & Watch or Duck Hunt Dog and like Pichu. It was just like this is like that really random, like it's probably really random and fun type of character that is probably gonna be a lot more fun to use after we get the chance to see him and play as him. So
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I think Jakester, I think, is referring to the memes that people have been making about a piranha plant and Waluigi. Those are pretty funny.
What would be cool? What if they did like a Pokemon trainer kind of deal, and they had Goomba, and then they had Koopa Troopa, and then they had Piranha Plant, were like the 3, and you could switch between the 3.
So I would play as a Koopa Troopa. Like that sounds pretty exciting to me, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
cool. I loved it because I like the thing is with Smash, it's so huge now that there's like so many characters, so many franchises represented. At this point, I'm just like there's not really any characters that I'm like dying to have added. Like all the franchises I love are represented in some way. Like I want more fresh and exciting things. So anytime they bring in a character that's different and just unique, I'm all for it, you know? So like the second I saw this, I mean, yeah, I was like, what in the world? But then once I saw the gameplay and everything, I was like, this looks really unique and really different. So I'm excited to try them out. Like that's the thing about this game is all the new characters, the ones that I really want to play. Like I love Animal Crossing and I really want to try Isabelle, but Isabelle isn't too different from Villager. So I'm more excited to really try like Inkling, Piranha Plant, you know, like all these other characters that are really unique. Because that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it so diverse. And then, you know, who knows which characters are going to become more viable in tournament play, and then seeing high level play from some of these characters, it's going to be insane to watch as well. Like it just adds so much more fun to the game.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. I think I've experienced that. I haven't really thought about it until you just said it though. That I think the same way. I mean, that's why I think a lot of people are upset when they throw another, you know, sword wielding person from oh, I'm blanking. Shoot.
Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem. Yeah, because like they're like, oh, it's another character just like that. And Greg knows that they're all different, but in someone's mind that doesn't know all that sort of thing, it seems like it's just another similar character. And this is another character that's totally out there. We haven't seen something like this before, and that does make it more fun and more exciting. And I'm definitely interested in trying Piranha Plant for sure. But I'm hoping for Koopa Troopa next. So there
Play
are also,
Squirtle. There you go.
it could be very similar, but I don't know. So there are also going to be new amiibo. We alluded to that earlier with Piranha Plant. Inkling, Ridley, and Wolf are coming out December 7th, so right after the game is released. And then King K. Rool, Ice Climbers, and Piranha Plant are for February 15th of 2019, and Isabelle, Pichu, Ken, Young, Link, and Daisy later in 2019. How many of you guys are still collecting all the amiibo? Anybody still going? Barry and Huston's going strong. Got
for
them all.
Smash, at least.
For Smash. Okay, so
the Smash?
I think Barry's getting them all, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm getting them all.
So these are already probably, you already got them pre-ordered?
Not only that, but they also did the Diablo was a Goblin.
Right.
So it's GameStop online exclusive. I got that pre-ordered too. Ready to go.
Cool. And Hudson, these are in the Smash Brothers one. You're falling in line and got them all pre-ordered. Everything ready?
Yeah, Smash Brothers. Yeah, there's a couple series I've been getting, like the Splatoon ones, the Zelda ones, like certain series of amiibo. But like if I don't care about like Diablo or Dark Souls or like I don't care about those franchises, so I'm not getting those ones. But Smash, I mean, like that's like Nintendo as a whole. Like I feel like I'm representing the entirety of Nintendo just from Smash. So that makes me happy.
Well, they all started out with the trophies, and so it's kind of like your little mini, Smash.
That's where the trophies went. They left the game and became physical.
There you go. Now Smash Brothers lives beyond the game.
So Hassan, if they start doing like alternate costumes or alternate versions, like Zelda from a Link Between Worlds, or Alf, or the Koopa Kids, or male Wii Fit Trainer and stuff like that, are you gonna grab all those too?
For Smash? Yeah.
For Smash.
Yeah, right. I would. I didn't for Splatoon because I know they did the alternate colors of the Splatoon ones. I didn't do those. Those are the only Splatoon ones I skipped. But with Smash, like I gotta collect it for Smash. I did the Famicom Rob, so I did get that alternate color. Too. So yeah,
I imported that before it came to America.
yeah, same.
Nice.
So do you have player 2 for Corrin and Bayonetta?
Yeah, and Cloud.
And Cloud.
Yeah.
They could do player 2s for everybody now, if you think about it.
That is true. There's so many. Well, as you can, there's behind me, I have all my amiibo on the shelf, but if I did collect them all, they definitely would not fit on there. So I gotta pace myself. Of these, I'm thinking, I think I'll definitely get Piranha Plant because that's just crazy. And I may end up picking up Young Link and maybe Ken. I may get Daisy for my wife. She's a big Daisy fan. But that's
have the other Daisy amiibo.
I do have the other Daisy amiibo. So, and then Ridley could be cool. I think Ridley could be definitely cool. But I won't be picking up all of these. Greg, are you still collecting amiibo at all?
I did complete my Smash set that's not contains duplicates. So that's no Famicom Rob, no player 2, Corrin, Cloud, and Bayonetta. And if anyone wants to zoom in, they're like all up in this little tower thing right here. And then there's a big stash that doesn't fit on it, like right next to it. But yeah, that's right where all they're stored right now. And not looking forward to having to track down a couple more. So,
well, are you pre-ordering these? Because you can pre-order, and you pre-order them at Best Buy, and you have GCU, you get 20% off.
Yeah, that expired in August, so I don't have that anymore.
And I never had GCU, but I get a thing where if I do store pickup for a lot of items, I get like $1 off.
Get $1 off, yeah.
So I mean, I do store pickup for a lot of my Best Buy stuff. So
nice.
It's not much, but it adds up.
That's with you.
Nice. That's cool. So the next thing on the press release actually jumps past like everything. So they actually kind of left this the adventure mode stuff to the very end. But since we're just going straight down this, let's go ahead and talk about adventure mode. So it's called World of Light, and we don't really know a whole lot about it. We know kind of how they ended up in this situation, but we really don't know exactly what's going on, and we don't have any confirmation of how this all works together. We have a lot of speculation. A lot of people have some ideas. I think we're kind of on a sort of a good path, I think, of trying to figure this out. But according to Nintendo, it does function similarly to the Subspace Emissary from Brawl, which a lot of people are really excited about. And something has caused numerous of the characters to lose their bodies and transform into spirits. We were talking about spirits earlier, and we see in the little trailer that Kirby seems to be the only one who has made it. We're not really sure if that's actually what happens, but that's what we see. And it seems like maybe he's the one that sets out on this journey to rescue and save the rest of the characters. And it's cool, like all these different worlds from the different characters are all together and kind of connected. So you see all of them in this kind of panoramic view. And there's some sort of like a top-down kind of adventure where they're moving through each of the worlds. So we don't know a whole lot, but of what we know, are you guys excited? Hassan, what do you think?
I am very excited because I think, we're getting the cutscenes and stuff like Subspace Emissary, although not to that same extent, because Sakurai did say it's not going to be as involved in terms of the story, but it's something. So I think what they showed set the stage for what's to come, and I'm excited to like experience the rest on my own. And I like the idea of it because the spirits mode, when they kind of talked about all that, it was so complex, but I can see how that all fits in now with the story mode because you're kind of going through encountering all the characters that are like evil, but essentially you're kind of fighting them and you're going to be collecting spirits and things too, kind of like how they'd shown earlier in the direct in the spirits mode. So I can see how it all ties together, and it'll be fun to go through and kind of gather up all the characters as you go. And I liked how it was kind of a hodgepodge of different Nintendo franchises together, because there was like on the overworld map, there was like the player riding a Lapras across some water. I think there was like something from Monster Hunter featured as well. So there's like a bunch of different things that are there from different Nintendo franchises and others that I think will make it very, very interesting to play through. So yeah, should be pretty fun.
Yeah, it definitely. I like how they've been able to bring in the other franchises and other characters and stuff like that. Even if they're not fighters, they've been able to bring in different elements from different games, and it really does seem like a gigantic love letter to the video game industry, at least those that are connected to Nintendo. It seems like so it could have a lot of potential there. Barry, what do you think about the adventure mode so far?
It was the saving grace of the direct for me. It was literally the one thing that finally was like, okay, good. I can feel good about this direct in some regards, especially because it came right after that big slap in the face for Rex. I was ready to like get Sakurai in the face. Like, really, come on. So this was a saving grace for me. I love adventure mode. I loved adventure mode in Melee, and I was so excited when that was announced. And Subspace Emissary, I loved too. I know some people are like, "Oh, it's boring." I loved it. I love single player content in fighting games, and I was really sad to see that not be there in Smash 4. So to see this come back, like this came out of nowhere. And the funny thing is, like Brawl, like the Subspace Emissary, like leaked, and Sakurai was so pissed off about it. This didn't leak. No one knew about this. This came as a complete surprise to everybody, and I think that is the greatest testament to Sakurai. Like he when this was being developed, he had to have been like, if anyone breathes a word of this to anyone, I will kill you. And they somehow kept it quiet, and I love that, because I think if that was spoiled, that would have ruined that impact. But instead, it was like the internet collectively gasped. Like, at one point, millions of people on the internet collectively gasped at that snap moment. Like, what is going on? And I think the payoff worked. I love the interconnected worlds. I love like Pac-Man was included as well, so it's third parties. I love that city with like the different Nintendo consoles as buildings, and I think that there's just so many hidden things there. I'm sure we're gonna see a ton of great stuff. I love it. I love event mode, like Greg was talking about. So this storyline seems like event and adventure combined, without the 2D platforming segments or killing redeads in a Zelda dungeon or fighting giant Yoshis for no reason or stuff like that. So I'm very excited about this. This is the big saving grace. What I'm not happy about, however, is all the cut single player content from this game. And that is all the board the platforms, break the targets, race to the finish, home run derby, all the stadium games. Standard all-star mode is gone. Like, that's all good content. That shouldn't be cut. That should be added in the ultimate version. And I don't see any reason why Smash Run and Smash Tour were cut. I think those should be pretty easy to just bring over, do some tweaks, and go, here's some new modes for you. So hopefully you'll be free DLC down the road. But until then, adventure mode will have to work.
Nice. Yeah, I was actually I was getting a little nervous when I was watching it. I was like, wait, spirits is all it's going to be? Like, so many people are going to be disappointed, and it was definitely a saving grace sort of thing for it. Like you said, Barry, I think those other modes are still going to be there. I think they just haven't talked about it, but I don't know.
Nope. When in the Japanese thing, they showed the menus and they showed Stadium, and they all they had there was that 100-man melee, and then the All-Star Melee, which isn't the same All-Star mode that we've had since Melee, I think. And they didn't have any of that. Like, all those other staple things are gone, and that's the disheartening thing.
I didn't even think to watch the Japanese thing, so maybe I need to watch that for sure. Although they ruined it all for everybody. So, Greg, what do you think about the adventure mode, World of Light?
Oh, it was definitely very exciting. I was like, what the heck kind of mode is this? Is this like an extension of Spirit mode, or what is this? And that trailer just was very like intense. I was just like on my seat and I was like, oh man, what's going to happen? Like, oh, why did Kirby get away? Like, I mean, obviously it's because Sakurai had a big hand in creating his series and everything like that. So understandable at this point. I'm pretty sure this is how you're going to be unlocking all the different characters, just kind of like we did in Subspace. So I know it's going to be quick and easy and fun, just as he had preluded before. At least that's my theory. So, yep, definitely very excited. I do like the single-player content on the Smash Brothers games. I've always enjoyed that a lot, and really helps me hone up my skills against the AI and just to get owned by random strangers on the internet. So.
Yeah, Greg, you mentioned that trailer was pretty incredible, and I loved how like each of them had like a moment that made sense right before the whatever happened and passed through them, all the light or whatever, and stole their spirits and everything. It was like they either did their final smash or something that made sense for them to do in their final moments. And
yeah, like Link was like, here's my mirror shield, like right through it.
Yeah,
it was perfect. Just like, Palutena goes down, so then Pit and Dark Pit start falling because they can't fly anymore. Like, all these little references that, and I was watching like reaction videos, and like half the people didn't even pick up on. Obviously, we all know it was Snake in the box, but half the people just completely ignored it. Whereas I was like, that's genius. Like, come on. Like, there's so many little references that's what I love about these video trailers. Yeah.
One thing I feel, I don't know if you feel the same, but I really feel that video is only a portion of what's shown, because they didn't show a lot of characters, and I think they cut that video to fit the announcement. And I think when we boot up that adventure mode, World of Light, we're going to get a longer version of that. Do you agree or disagree?
I think it definitely could happen for sure, but I don't know, because I also said he said it's not going to be as involved in the cutscenes and everything too. So I could go either way with that.
Well, they did show in that Japanese thing there is a theater option to watch movies and it says announcement trailers and movies from adventure mode. So that leads to think that maybe there's more than just one movie from adventure mode, which has me really excited.
Why did the Japanese people get to see so much? I need to learn Japanese and watch these videos.
I just watched Game Explain had a little video
Yeah,
basically
what I
summarizing it
watched.
all. That's what
okay.
I watched. Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Game Explain.
That's interesting. I usually follow their channel. I didn't see that video, so I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah, I didn't either. Actually, I skipped over a lot of their stuff because they post the snippets of like the entire thing, and so sometimes I just I skip the whole thing. So I need to go back and check it out. So let's jump into a couple of quick things as we wrap up. Assist trophies. There's gonna be 59 assist trophies in the game. New stuff like from Isaac from Golden Sun, the Fly Swatter from Mario Paint, Springman we talked about earlier from ARMS, and also the Mii Fighters. And you can continue to customize the outfits and voice options and things like that. So what do you guys think about the assist trophies and Mii Fighters? Any big thoughts, or just kind of like, that's cool, let's move on?
I'm so excited. Nintendo Labo is represented.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I'm kind of like half joking there. Like, I mean, I'm not like super high, like, you know, it's Labo, but at the same time, like the way they implemented it was actually really cool. And I kind of want to use that Mii costume. So it was pretty genius how they did that.
It was also interesting to see that the Mii Fighters have custom movesets, unlike the other fighters. Unless the other fighters may still have the custom movesets and we just don't know. I know like Mii Fighters weren't allowed online in Smash 4. Do you think they'll be online now?
They've already said they will be.
Did they?
Yeah.
This was a while ago. I thought they had said they're trying to get them to be online, but they didn't like commit to it yet or something. Like, but this was like when the game, like early on, I think they were like, we would like to have the Mii Fighters be playable online this time or something.
You know what's going to happen? They're going to get them online. One person's going to draw a penis for a face, and they're going to get online, and some 3-year-old is going to see it, and the parents are going to complain, and Mii Fighters will be offline within 24 hours.
No, I thought they were going to leave like the Mii Fighters, and you're just going to be picking the generic like sword fighter. It's not going to allow you to use like Reggie or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's the case too. I think they're the generic Mii Fighters. So you can't use your own created Mii.
Oh, okay. Well, that would work. At least they'd be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Any thoughts? We'll keep moving on.
Did you see the controversy that's going on now about Game & Watch that came to the wake? Did you guys? None of you saw this?
I heard about it.
There's one of his moves is from the game Fire Attack, where he becomes an Indian for a second to launch fire, which is the basis of the game. In the Game Boy Advance re-release of that Game & Watch game, they changed it to Bandits, but Sakurai honored the original Fire Attack, so he's got the little feather, and now people are like, oh my god, that's racist. So thank you, SJWs, that might be changed now. Like, it's like one frame of animation.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned it, I do remember that. I forgot about it though. But yeah. I don't know. You can't please everybody, I guess. So I don't know. We'll keep on moving though to online play, wireless and online play. There's a lot with this, but basically they've taken away the for fun and for glory modes that we had in Wii U and 3DS, and basically they're going to do a bunch of different matchmaking based on preferred rules and global smash power. Online leaderboards are going to pit different characters with other characters or other players that make a lot of sense with your similar score and proximity and all that sort of thing. So it's not going to be based on that. You're going to have two-player co-op, so you can kind of join in from the same Switch system and play against others, kind of a 2v2 matches and stuff like that. You're also going to have the beloved smartphone app that's going to be playing in to this one. So yeah, You can do voice chat with others in a battle arenas. So it doesn't seem like I don't think it's going to be in just in general, but when you're in a battle arena, you're going to be able to chat. And they're going to have another mobile service. I don't know if this is going to be within the Nintendo Switch app, or it's going to be a separate app altogether, or if it's just a website, a dedicated like mobile website. But it's called Smash World, that you're going to be able to post. You're going to have your stats, but also post videos and other gameplay pictures and stuff like that. And if you do get high enough in your global Smash power, you can qualify for Elite Smash mode to have elite battles with like VIP matches against some of the best players of the world. And there's also going to be a Smash Tag mode. Everybody competes online. We'll create a unique Smash Tag. So not a mode, but if you create your Smash Tag, if you beat other people, you collect their Smash Tag and kind of see who you've beaten online. You'll be able to have little short messages like quick texts that you can use to send quick messages to each other. Spectator mode is back as well, so you can watch other people playing. There's also going to be background matchmaking, which is kind of cool. So you can kind of set it to go out there and find who you're going to fight against, and while you're waiting for it to give you a game, you can compete in a few of the modes in the game as it continues to matchmake for you. And you're also going to be able to do battle arenas and create custom arenas when playing online. As we talked earlier, that's where the voice chat comes in and kind of create this arena. So I'm sure we're going to have a NintendoFuse battle arena and be able to play against each other, but also you guys are readers and listeners and viewers and stuff too. So a lot of different modes there online. What do you guys think about the online features? Is it what you would have hoped for, or is there anything missing that you were really hoping for? Barry, let's go to you first.
I mean, that's at least there. As for voice chat, it would be nice to have in-app voice instead of Discord Nintendo flavored that we're going to be stuck using. The Smash World app just kind of sounds like they're bringing back Miiverse just for Smash Brothers. Kind of like Splatoon, I think, did that as well. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, it's all good stuff. It's not like, oh my god, super hype, yay! It's almost to be expected. It's kind of like when he went into the options. It's like you can customize the controls, you can change the language. Like these are all things that should be there. That would be like, hey, you're gonna introduce me to your friend, or maybe we're gonna go on a date. Can you tell them about let me know about them? Okay, well they've got 2 eyes and they breathe air and they like to eat food and yeah, okay, like we know that stuff. Like get to the details about it. So I didn't think it was really necessary. It was interesting the change to For Glory and For Fun being removed, but overall it's standard practice stuff. It's like Nintendo has finally reached 2007 when it comes to internet games and stuff. They're catching up slowly.
Yeah. Greg, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely the not having voice chat like within the Switch itself is kind of a letdown, and you have to use this awesome method using your cell phone now. So even though Fortnite allows you to do that kind of thing without the application, that's kind of interesting. So yeah, Smash Tag, sure, that's always nice to see who you've beaten and all that stuff in exchange for additional money. I've always been one not to like their short messages that they allow. I feel like there's like only like 1 or 2 that you really want to use, and the rest like don't even make sense to me. Especially with the Mario Kart messages that they've used in the past games.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I wonder if you can abuse that tag system. Like, hey, I need money to buy stuff from the shop. Come battle with me and keep losing over and over and over. Let me keep getting your tag over and over and over. Now I'll do the same for you.
Yeah. I mean, I did enjoy like spectator mode and stuff, so like using that a little bit on Wii U. So I thought that was kind of fun to watch some other people play that are much better than me. I thought it was kind of interesting how they're going to be arranging everybody by the types of rules and stuff that they've had. Like, I don't know how useful that's going to be, or if you're actually going to be playing by the rules that you want, or if it's just going to be like someone's random rules and you're going to have to play with items if you didn't want to and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, the rest of it is just basically the stuff that's always been in the game. Like, there's always been like help and replay and tips and that kind of stuff has always been a staple item in all the games. So no big surprise, like Barry said. It's like, oh, does it breathe? Like, does your date breathe? Does it have eyes? Does it have hair? I mean, very basic stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Hudson, what do you think about the online?
Yeah, kind of what everybody has already said. It's pretty standard stuff. The smash tag thing was kind of weird for me because it's like you're collecting these tags. It's almost like this is like your record, like your wins, but then you like sell them off. So like, what, you just don't want to keep track of your wins, or like, wouldn't you just sell all of them off? Why do you even want to save them? It seemed kind of weird. Like, I don't know. It was kind of like, why don't you just win and get coins? Why do you need the tags in between to? I don't know. It's a little too involved, too complex, I think. But yeah, I mean, everything else is pretty standard. The big thing for me is like, I just want to be able to get in the game, play online, no issues, no lag, that kind of thing. If the game can do that, then whatever fancy modes and stuff, that's fine. I just want to be able to play it well. And I know that he specifically had to call out, you should have a wired connection and show the LAN adapter and all that. My Switch is not anywhere near where I can have a wired connection. Now I do have gigabit internet, but it's on Wi-Fi. So is that going to help or not? Like if the game's still lagging and stuff, I mean, there's nothing I can do. So I hope that that's not going to cause issues or anything, and now that we're paying for online, like it really should work. So I don't know that that's specifically a Smash thing, but more a Nintendo thing and just making sure their online service works, because I think Smash Bros is going to test it. So and this is, all eyes will be on Nintendo for it, because it's going to be one of the big games now that we're paying. They're going to want to do this right.
Yeah.
I mean, other things I've seen is like there's not really dedicated servers, I think, yet for the Nintendo games. You're connecting to someone else's internet, and that's
all fighting games are like that, though.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about all fighting games. I think like
no fighting game has
like a dedicated server where, like, if you play Mario Kart, you're connecting to my internet, and everybody else is joining on mine. I'm like a host, and then the race is done off of my internet. So if my internet starts lagging or has bad connection, then everybody else is going to be in the game will be facing that. So that's usually how the Nintendo Online works. People have been asking Nintendo for a dedicated server so we don't see those kinds of issues. So it's really going to be up in the air about who's playing and stuff. So it doesn't matter if they paid the yearly fee or not. It's just going to be if they have crappy internet, you're going to have a crappy time playing with them.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. And this is the first, Smash Brothers game we've had with paid internet service. So, yeah, this like you guys have said, this is going to be possibly a make it or break it sort of deal for Nintendo, because like this has got to be good. If not, like they're going to possibly lose a lot of subscribers and a lot of faith in their fans. They've got to make this good.
We all paid for like a year already.
That is true. And it's relatively cheap, but still, like they need to make this good for sure. Some people in the chat were talking about online tournaments. I think that'd be cool too. I was surprised to not see it. I wonder if they're going to be playing into the battle arenas, if there's going to be some sort of tournament like mode within the battle arena. I don't know. Or maybe it's going to be kind of a mode that they release. They have tournaments on a seasonal sort of thing, or kind of a special thing that you sign up for. It's just online, but they haven't ironed all those details out yet. So that's why they didn't announce it yet. I also thought, I think it was Game Explain that actually mentioned it's kind of an ARMS style online. I thought it would be kind of cool. That was a cool idea that they'd mentioned, but we obviously didn't see it. But I thought that would be kind of cool. Additional mode for online play. But I'm okay with it not being there. But I thought it would have been a pretty cool idea how they do the matchmaking and everything within ARMS. You can bounce around to different games and play with each other and stuff. So. The final thing on the press release is really kind of just the other features. Run through it quickly. There's like help, and there's Mob Smash, which allows you to play an army of fighters. We talked about that already. Replay options, tips, challenges, battle record shop, language support, custom balance, and they're going to have some early hands-on events, and you can check out our website that has our blog that has all those listed there, and you can click on the link and go to all those. Final thoughts about Smash Brothers Ultimate before we move on to the last couple news items and wrap up tonight. Any thoughts from you guys?
It's going to be awesome. I mean, either way you look at it, even if you're disappointed, it's still going to be an awesome game. That's what it boils down to.
Yep.
Very excited. Can't wait for it.
Cool. And Hassan's clearly already playing with the Smash Switch, so all ready for it.
I'm ready to go. I mean, Mario Kart, Smash, Animal Crossing are my top 3 favorite series. I've been loving Mario Kart, and I got Smash and Animal Crossing next year. Like, what more can I ask for? Just
nice.
3 great years in a row.
So, quick question before we do move on. Have you guys had any of you had a chance to play the demos at all, like Best Buy or any of the other events or anything? Okay. So, Greg, did you get a chance at all?
No, there wasn't one that was a very convenient location for me. The closest one was like at least 45 minutes out.
Okay. So I had a chance to play it, and I played with the Pro Controller, and I was actually surprised at how much I enjoyed it. What do you guys think your preferred controller is going to be? Is it still going to be GameCube controller, or are you gonna try the Pro Controller, try the Joy-Cons? Where are you guys going to go? Hassan, what do you think?
Pro Controller. The Smash Brothers Pro Controller, I should add as well. Yeah, I mean, the GameCube controllers, I did buy the new Smash GameCube controller they just released as well, and I have some from before, but it might be nice when I have some people over. In fact, I'll be having something at my house about a week after the game comes out, so I'm excited about that because I can really test out a lot of the multiplayer stuff. But the Pro Controller is just too comfortable. Like, I have no issues with it. It's a great controller.
Cool. What do you think, Greg?
Seeing as I'll probably be playing the bulk of my time in handheld mode, I'll probably be locked in on the Joy-Cons this time around. I've been following that kind of trend with the previous games, just like it was the Wii U gamepad, and so I've been just kind of following along with the controllers as they advance.
All right. Barry?
Well, I will be getting the Smash Pro Controller with the bundle, and I do absolutely love the Pro Controller. I also have the GameCube adapter and the Smash GameCube controllers that just came out, and I will be sticking to my Melee roots from back then. I love the GameCube controller. It's still my favorite of all time, and I will be playing with the GameCube controller. I tried the Wii U Pro Controller on Wii U, which is very similar to the Switch Pro Controller, and I could not do it. Like, I sucked so badly. I'm like, nope, need to use GameCube. So I will continue that trend with GameCube.
Nice. I will say that the Switch Pro Controller feels better in Smash than the Wii U Pro Controller felt in Smash. But I will be trying both. I am definitely a huge GameCube controller fan, but after trying it for the Best Buy demo, I was pleasantly surprised, and so I may bounce back and forth and kind of play it by ear a little bit and see which one I land on for the long term. So, all right, a couple quick news items before we wrap up tonight. First, a rumor. Apparently, there may be a YouTube app coming on for the Nintendo Switch on November 8th. So just, 3 days away, almost 2 days by the time we're done with this podcast. So, but November 8th, so we'll see. There's been kind of popping up on different surveys and different things like that. So it seems like the YouTube app is going to finally come to Switch on November 8th. Any of you guys just kind of general thoughts about this? You guys looking forward to it, or kind of let's just move on to the next news item?
It's about time. That's all I'll say.
That was my reaction too. It's like, it's about time. I mean, I'll get it, but I'll probably just use it to watch like next year's E3 event or something.
Yeah, it's odd that some of the stuff still isn't there, like Netflix and everything. I wouldn't use it because I have other devices that I would use, but it should be there, and so I'm glad that it's finally coming.
Yeah, yeah. Same. Also, this could be interesting. I don't know how big of Civilization fans you guys are, but apparently, we were all excited. Civilization 6 is coming to Nintendo Switch. However, some people have been looking around and found out that online multiplayer seems to be missing from Civ 6 on Switch. Is this disappoint any of you guys in particular, or you're like, I don't really care about Civ 6 and don't really care about multiplayer? Anybody?
I think it's disappointing in the sense that I hate when a Switch version of any game has less content or less features. That's been a Nintendo trend for a while now with third parties, and I hate it every time it happens. That being said, I haven't played the Civ series. I know it's very, very well beloved. My wife loves Civ. She'll be playing Civ 6, but she's fine with single player and against the computer. So I don't think it's going to bother her that much. I'll still be getting it.
Yeah. Are you guys big fans of Civilization?
No.
No. All
Nope.
right.
But yeah, it says it really stinks when features are taken out, and that's kind of what makes them not sell very well. And then the publisher gets upset with Nintendo fans when they sell a game missing features. So
Yeah, and as well, I
Agreed.
mean, it makes people like have this lesser than view of the system as well, or like, oh well, yeah, the Switch versions of games aren't like the full games, and you try to have this argument as a Switch fan, and like, oh no, they are, but then you see things like this, and you go, well, no, now you are right, because sometimes they do cut out important features like that, and Civ is such a game that does involve multiplayer. It's weird that it's only local. So and our final news piece before we wrap up tonight is that Nintendo seems to be doing what we were thinking they were going to do with Labo, and they're taking it into the public school system, into elementary schools across the United States. And they have partnered with Institute of Play, and they're bringing Nintendo Labo kits into classrooms to connect with what's called STEAM. It used to be STEM, but now they've added art in there, and so it's now STEAM. So if schools are STEAM schools, they get a chance to have Nintendo Labo variety kits brought into the classrooms, and their program is aiming to reach approximately 2,000 students ages 8 through 11 during the 2018-2019 school year. What do you guys think about this move by Nintendo?
very smart to get that into some schools and be used as some quality learning and stuff like that. I mean, my wife works at the library, and they have like switches there that they have for special events and stuff. So anything that's getting into the schools is just better off for get the kids introduced to some really cool apps and stuff. So
Cool.
Yeah, and I think that's where Labo really shines too, is all the custom stuff that you can make with it. Like I have all three kits. I've done the variety kit. I haven't done the others yet, but I have not really even touched the customization aspects because there's just so much that you can do with it. So just to expose kids to that and get their, like brains going and just trying to, teach them to try new things with that, I think is cool. It's always nice to bring in video games and kind of help in education in some way.
Yeah, it's something we said when Labo was first introduced. I mean, getting this into schools is brilliant. It's not only brilliant for educating young kids and getting them interested in, now STEM or STEAM projects, but it's great for Nintendo too. It gets their name out there. It's good business. It's, I'm sure shareholders will love it. It's what really needs to happen because while it has sold, it hasn't sold well, and it's not as popular with the general consumer. But getting into school systems is definitely the right way to go.
Yeah. There's so much there, and it could be a cool opportunity for this this next generation of developers and everything. Who knows? We might have the next Sakurai on our hands, and he starts out by creating little games in Nintendo Labo. Who knows? So that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and Jared actually. Oh yeah, that's true. Sorry, I was reading the chat, but yeah, Jared in the chat was talking about how he used it in his school, and it was a nice lesson in programming and interactive media. So that's cool. We already have some experience. He teaches 14 through 18-year-olds, so even a bunch of teenagers really got to learn about this, and so using this with younger children could be a really, really cool experience for sure. Hassan, breaking news. Have we done it yet again? Is that right? There's another or was it from Greg? I can't remember who said this, but is there another Nintendo Direct coming?
There's a rumor.
Yeah, I did say, but I was also under that teasing quotation marks type because it's your all-time favorite topic of discussion.
Oh,
channel update is coming.
All right. Well, let's just keep on moving on.
Those of us that still play Fire Emblem Heroes like me.
Oh man, if that's the Nintendo Direct that has been rumored, I will be upset. I'm upset anytime one of those things come on.
Hey, if they start doing Dragalia Lost ones, I'll be up for it.
As long as they get a better voice, I'll be fine. Because I don't care about the content is fine, especially if you're a fan of the game. I just don't like the voice. So
I think it's hilarious because she's like, and you can use the stone to summon new.
All right, like I said, we can move on.
That's it, Greg. From now on, every podcast you need to use that voice at least once.
There you go.
It's really the cat talking that's behind you right now. So. All right. So again, tonight's podcast has been way too long already, so we won't go into listener questions. But to just remind you again that we do interact with our listeners, and so if you want to have a question for a future podcast, send it into podcast@nintendofuse.com. You can also connect with us on Facebook and Twitter, not Fitter and Twacebook, which is about what I said. So before we wrap up, let's go ahead and talk about what games are you guys excited about over the next couple weeks that you hope to be playing. Greg, let's go to you first.
Well, I did get a code for Moonlighter, and that actually, I think it releases this week. I think maybe even Thursday. I'm definitely excited to give that a shot. I'm really hoping to boot that up tomorrow. I still need to boot up Mega Man 11 that came out a little while ago too. So yeah, I definitely got my backlog in place to try to clean up before Smash Brothers. So
cool. Barry, how about you?
I have a few games that I got sent to review. I might give one or two a shot. The big game is Diablo 3 for sure. I know Mike is trying to get us codes. So I'm waiting to see. Otherwise, I'm just gonna crack open my copy. I played Diablo 3 when it came out, and then I played it again when it came out on PS4. I bought it on launch on PS3 to do it, but I didn't have the time. One of these days I'm gonna finish it, so I might as well be the Switch version. So I'm definitely looking like that's the game that's gonna take me, or expected to take me till Pokemon Let's Go. Pokemon Let's Go comes out before our next podcast, so that will absorb my life afterwards because that's something that's getting my wife to buy a Switch, and she's super excited about it. So anytime my wife gets excited about a game and I can play the game with her, I'm more excited about it because I just love being able to share my hobby with her. So that's my game plan at least.
Cool. Hassan, how about you?
Kind of echoing the Pokemon thing. I'm excited about that. I'm getting the Eevee version. My wife's getting the Pikachu version. So definitely looking forward to playing some of that. Nice. And so I've been kind of trying to do a bit more of Pokemon Go in the meantime as well, leading up to it. But before that comes out, I am going to be playing more of Super Mario Party. My sister's actually coming over tomorrow, so we should be able to. I've only been able to play with my wife, but between both my sisters now as well and me and my wife, I think we should hopefully have 4-player gameplay if I can convince them to play. They've been burned by the last few Mario parties, so I've been telling them like this is back to how it used to be. Try it out. So let's see if I can convince them to play, and let's see how it goes. But looking forward to that. My wife just bought Just Dance 2019 yesterday for Switch, so probably be playing more of that. And this is more cross-platform, but Fortnite, been playing a decent amount and want to play more of, because that game really it makes you want to keep playing because they always have new stuff happening in the game. And it is a really cool thing this past weekend where it was like an in-game event where everybody playing at 1 p.m. on Sunday, like this crazy thing happened. And like, it's so fun, all these types of events they do. And then the map changes slightly. And so there's a little challenge to unlock something that I only have this week to complete. So like, it gets me playing. And the Switch version, I had been playing a lot on my Xbox, but lately I've been kind of picking up the Switch version a little bit more just because it's easier to just play, here and there, just kind of grab and play a game or two here and there if my wife is watching TV or something. So I definitely like that part about it.
That's cool. I love how Fortnite has done. How they've done it with sharing the account between whatever you play on. I wish that they did that with Rocket League, because I have like 3 or 4 different versions of it going, and I'm the furthest ahead on my Switch version. But it'd be great if I could pick it up on my Xbox and then play it on PlayStation 4. And I haven't booted that up in a long time, but and be able to continue on. But that is pretty cool about Fortnite, and I love that there's the community and the events are really fun. And actually this last stuff like around the I forget what it's called, the Halloween themed stuff was all like, it got me back into the game and try it out, because it keeps being new and fresh, and stuff like that is really cool. Jakester in the chat says he's excited about getting Diablo 3. He's gonna be getting or Starlink for Christmas. And then Jared said he's going to be finishing up Luigi's Mansion and Soul Calibur before Spyro and Pokemon Let's Go come out. As far as I looked over the list and everything, there's actually not a whole lot that I'm excited about coming out over the next couple weeks. I've said before, I'm gonna hold off on Let's Go for now and kind of see what other people think about it first. So over the next couple weeks, I'm gonna be trying to chip away at my backlog. I've got a trip coming up pretty soon, so I'll be flying. So be maybe trying to pick a game that can last me for my flight or something like that too.
You gotta finish Starlink too.
I gotta finish Starlink. I gotta finish Torna. There's a lot of games in my backlog, and some other independent games that I have for review and everything too. So that's no. So that's what I'm gonna be playing through. So nothing brand new. But I'm gonna be chipping away on that backlog and continuing to play through some of those games that I still have to finish. So, all right. Well, that was a long podcast, guys. There's a lot to talk about for Smash for sure. But crazy enough, in just a few weeks, we're going to be meeting together and talking about our experience with Smash Ultimate. And actually having some hands-on and being able to connect our speculation versus actual hands-on and see if we thought this was definitely a Game of the Year contender or not.
Well, we'll be doing that on our Game of the Year episode too, which is pretty funny.
That is true. It's coming up. We did set the date. Oh, is that we say December 17th? Is that right?
13th, I believe.
13th.
I think it's
17th.
17th.
Yeah, December 17th. So Game of the Year coming up on December 17th. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But we still got a couple more podcasts before that too. So coming at you every other week. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that. Hit that bell so you can be alerted about our podcast, about our live streams, about other videos we post like game chats and industry talks and gameplay footage and unboxings. We've had a lot of unboxings recently. We got Barry's Startale unboxing coming up really soon as well. So lots of stuff on our YouTube channel. Make sure you do subscribe and share it with other Nintendo fans out there as well. Guys, it's been great to talk Smash and Nintendo with you guys tonight once again. And we'll see you back. Next podcast is November 19th. We'll be right here, same time, Until then, happy gaming, and we'll see you later.
See you guys.
Bye.
Take care.